Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to week 4.
Week 4, we're still here.
We are still here, still kicking it on this U.S. tour.
USA tour.
USA tour. For you that, maybe you're new here, maybe you don't know us. My name's Michelle.
And I'm her husband, Douglas.
And we are currently on a full tour of the United States. So we renovated an RV for 3 weeks, and we are currently living in it full-time on the road, heading state to state, hitting 48 states, 82 stops within 12 months. How's it going so far? We're on week 4. Week 4.
Week 4. Where has time gone?
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it's almost February, which is wild.
Wild.
And so, yeah, time really has flown by. Like, I feel like we were just recording week 3, like a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, what's happened in week 4?
Oh, wow. Week 4. We are in
Orlando, Florida.
Ooh, and it is hot here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hot, but like it's a lot warmer than it was last week in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm actually almost concerned we're going to get sick because of all the weather changes we've been going through. But we'll take it as it comes, you know?
Yeah. It's been so good. Yeah, I think when we got here from Savannah, we had like a 30-degree change in temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Like we pulled up and it was literally, it was like sweating and like we had long clothes on and
we
boots
had to bust
and, like,
out our summer clothes because we didn't have anything. We just we came from basically winter.
Yeah.
And so we had just big sweaters and like long pants and so I had to do a quick changeover. So basically when we set up shop wherever we are at like our next destination, we always try to like he takes care of the outside stuff, I take care of the inside stuff, so I clean the whole place and get it all ready to like be there for the week, and he'll do like the outside stuff to really set up, make sure we're level, do all the hookups and all that. And so one of the things I had to do this week was to take out the summer clothes because we were like, whoa, weren't expecting it. I was trying to clean and I was sweating. He's outside trying to hook up, just sweating. Right. And so I had to bust out the summer clothes, which felt nice. Yes, felt nice. But then today it's actually been colder. So we're currently obviously in sweaters again. Yeah. So it's just a wild, wild ride with all these temperature changes.
Yeah. But it's not like colder. Like it's still, I think, hit like 65.
Yeah.
So like for our friends back in Nashville and family in northern part of the States in Canada, it's
warm.
It's warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's still t-shirt weather. It's just I wouldn't be out swimming in the pool today.
No?
It's a little chilly for that.
Go hang out by the pool with all our friends here.
This place is wild. Yeah. This RV park. So we got to this RV park, which is literally like packed full of people. So we were supposed to, obviously we try to do these live every Monday.
Yeah.
But it is so packed full that our internet, like we have Starlink, which is like a satellite that needs to be hooked up outside and can't have like any obstructions. So the fact that we have literally a million RVs like pulled next to us.
Yeah.
We don't have the capacity to use that very well.
And we have a huge Weeping Willow. Do you want to sing that song for me?
No.
Come on.
No.
So there's a huge Weeping Willow tree behind us. And yeah, you can't have any obstruction. So it's kind of silly. Like the internet's phenomenal, but it seems like every park we get to, we're like stuck by a tree or we're packed in where literally you have like your phone and there's an app, like Starlink app, and you have to point it up to the sky and you go in a circle. It's like riding a circus ride. Like I'm out there like this spinning around. I look like a goon trying to do this, and all the old timers are coming out. Oh, are you hooking up your satellite dish and your TV? And I'm like, I'm not even gonna attempt to try to tell them what I'm doing. And so yeah, and then you do this whole spin around thing, and it collects everything above you and tells you if there's any obstructions, and like if it catches anything, like I'm telling you, a leaf, anything, it'll basically show you that you have an obstruction, and it Because it's not like where you can just set the dish and point it to an open area. Like, it has to pick up a satellite, and not all satellites are like anywhere in the clear sky. Like, the satellites that we are trying to get are like in the trees, and so this thing keeps wanting to point to the trees, and it's
Yeah.
something
So,
else.
we're needless to say, we didn't go live tonight, but probably not next week either. But maybe the week after that, we'll
We
make
got
it
a lot of
live.
weeks.
Got a lot of
Yeah,
weeks. Some weeks we'll be able to go live, and some we can't. And that's
yeah,
just giving ourselves the grace of it, because obviously we'd love to be live and talking to you
yeah.
all like in real time. I mean, it is still 5 o'clock, but you aren't here listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the joys of navigating living on the road full time. But we did get to host a really cool event this week, which was so fun. We got to bring a big group of people to Universal Studios, which is so cool. And it was wild. So someone came to us and said,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, we want to supplement the events in Florida. So just allowing people that are part of the community to just pay $49, and they'd cover anything above that." So they had mentioned like Universal. And so we're like, yeah, Universal sounds cool. I've never been there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. And
Yeah.
so we didn't realize until our last event where someone had told us like, "Oh, did you know there's actually like Christian concerts going on at Universal?" And we're like, "No, we had no
Yeah.
idea." And so it's like biggest country Florida's biggest Christian music festival happens. Yeah, and so it was going on. So we got to
Mm-hmm.
see some amazing performers, and the tickets were actually cheaper to do them that way.
Yeah.
And people got multiple days at Universal and concert tickets rather than the one day at Universal. So quite wild that we
Mm-hmm.
got such a deal on them and
Yeah.
got to stay for the concerts too. So we got to check that out. Friday night we went to just kind of get a lay of the land and pick up the group tickets, and
Mm-hmm.
then Saturday all day we hung out with the group of people, and there was quite a few people, which was awesome. And
27.
27 people, which is
Amazing.
amazing. I've never hosted an event in Florida, and like did not know we had knew so many people in this area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool, and we're starting to see like people from those events sign up for some more of our other Florida events too, which has been really cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I got to do that. But one of the things that I'm navigating right now, being on the road full time, is for some of you that know me, I've had a back injury, which if you know me, you would know about. But for the last 2 years, which has been really challenging.
Mm.
And obviously, I was here going through an immigration process for a long time. If you're watching this and have no idea who I am, I'm from Canada. And moved to the United States just about 2 years ago. And yeah, I've been basically dealing with back injury since before I got here. And then obviously didn't have insurance. And the medical system is way different in the United States as it is in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So couldn't just go get it checked out. And so yeah, we've been dealing with that basically since we got married, getting tests and MRIs and x-rays and doctors upon doctors and injections and pain meds and just a lot of different things trying to navigate. Now we're in physical therapy every week, trying to just maintain the pain, and which makes hosting events really challenging, because one thing that causes way more pain is actually just standing around or walking, being on my feet a lot. And I really need that balance of being able to sit down, being able to stand up and walk around. And so, yeah, it's felt like after the last two events that we've done, my back has been like so much worse, and where it's just like taken me out basically the next day. So that's been challenging and something that we're dealing with, trying not to let it really get to me. But 2 years of being in constant pain every single day is like not ideal and not fun. And yeah, it's like it just starts like chipping at you. I think like I'm a very strong person. I've always been a very strong person and very strong headed and can kind of like just deal with it. But like when it's like think of something that's just like super annoying, and it's just like ticking at you like every single day for 2 years, it just starts to like really wear on you. So it's been interesting trying to navigate that from the road, and like going to physical therapy and like finding new physical therapy places, like every location we go into. Thankfully I have an amazing husband who loves me so much and deals with all of my nonsense when I'm in pain, and finds me
Mm.
physical therapy places. And yeah, you've had to be really patient with me.
Yeah, and I think that's marriage, right? Like when one's down, the other one's got the other one, and that's just what you yeah, that's what you do. And I think that's why it's so important to make sure that you find the one that God has for you, because like marriage is yeah, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. Like you have to show up and you
I mean,
have
he
to
literally has to tie my shoes a lot
yeah.
of the times because my back is in so much pain I can't bend over. And
Hmm.
so it's like, obviously, that's not ideal to be like, first year of marriage, like, tie my shoes. I'm 80 years old, you
Yeah.
know? But yeah, this is just something that we're navigating. And I believe that God can heal me, and I believe that He will heal me. And yeah, just doing what I can do, which is being prayerful about it and just asking for wisdom on like next steps and what that looks like, but also like going above and beyond, and just like, there's a ton of like different YouTube videos of people being miraculously healed from my condition that I have. And watching those and reminding myself, like, yes, like the doctors may say there's no cure for this, but I know a God who is a miracle worker, and I
Mm.
believe that He can heal me. And also, like, I ordered like a breakthrough to healing book of someone who is very knowledgeable when it comes to healing from God, and just getting the wisdom on healing and what that looks like, and being able to shift my mindset and my perspective, because I think perspective is huge and
Mm.
mindset is huge. And I think when something is just getting to you little by little, like 2 years in, it's easy to every day get into that like victim mindset. And I've definitely fallen into that a few times of just being like, why me? Why is this happening to me? And becoming almost like a
Mm.
victim. Like I see people running and I'm like, why can't I be doing that? Or I see people being active, why can't I be doing this? Or, living without pain. Or like, why? And it's easy to fall in the victim mentality and perspective. And so really just watching my thoughts and watching my mindset. And I think it's hard when you go into a physical therapy and your physical therapist is like, you'll never be able to run again. And I'm like, well, do you know my God? Because I do. And,
Mm.
and I believe that I'm going to be able to run again. And,
Yeah.
I had on my bucket list to run a half marathon and a marathon eventually. And I believe that that will happen again. And that, yes, the doctors may say that there's no cure, but, I truly believe I've seen God heal people. And I know it's going to take a miracle, but I believe in miracles, and I've seen miracles happen with my own two eyes. So, yeah, just trusting in what I cannot see or what people are saying is impossible. I know the God of the impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else
So
we
good.
got?
What
Oh,
else
we
we
went
got?
to Jesus Image Church last night,
Oh yeah.
which was fantastic, phenomenal. You really loved it. Why don't you
Yeah.
share what you loved about it?
Yeah, I think it's there was so much to love about it. I think the biggest takeaway for me was I walked away knowing more about like the word, and like I felt like I learned like I went to church and I was able to like I go to church and I try to take notes. But sometimes it's hard because it's like you were saying. I don't know how to you said it, but you said it perfectly last night. When like a pastor preaches, it's like sometimes it's hard to like take notes and follow along because it's I don't. Do you want to say how you said it to me last night?
Like sometimes people are preaching, not necessarily teaching.
Oh, that's good.
And when you go to a church, and I don't
Yeah.
think neither is wrong, because
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a time and a place for that teaching, and that you can learn from a teacher. They make points and they follow their points with the theological like background and
Mm-hmm.
insight into that, and wisdom into that. Whereas if someone's preaching, a lot of times it's based on their own experiences or based on encouraging and rising hope and fueling faith, and that's amazing too, and I think we need both. But I think last night going to Jesus Image, it was very Pastor Benny was speaking, and he was very knowledgeable when it came to, he has a gift of teaching, and he can teach very well and get the points across, and sort of like really like point it back to scripture, and then make a point it back to scripture, and he's very good at teaching. And he's not preaching at you, he's having a conversation with you where he's teaching you. And so yeah, I think there was just a difference in stylistic. It was more of a teaching than a preaching, which I think you really appreciated, because you are so hungry right now for knowledge. And I think we both are in some way, shape, or form. You know, even I'm taking like theology classes right now and different things, because I have read the entire Bible back and front like multiple times, and that's amazing. But I want a deeper understanding. I don't want to just read what's on the page, but I actually want to understand the insight into why things are being said the way they're being said, like what was going on in the culture at the time, what is actually happening in this day and age. And a lot of times I think we don't actually dig into that, so then we don't really like have that insight that truly like we got last night into like different parts of scripture, and why that things happened the way that they did, which was really awesome to just see. And they just have such a heart for deep worship at Jesus Image too, and which is just so powerful. And one thing I really appreciated about the church was like, you know, Pastor Michael and Jessica are like so powerfully gifted and like have such an anointing. And I've heard their sermon, like different sermons they've done before and listened to them before, but you know, if you go to the website of their church, it's not about them. And I really appreciate that, because I think so often it can become about like, you know, it's the Douglas Michelle show, or it's the Michelle show, and it's not about Jesus. And like if you go to their website, like it's just truly so much about Jesus, and not about them on a platform. Which is just really cool to see that people that truly have a heart for Jesus, and to keep the main thing.
Yeah, I think it was exactly what you said. It was a teaching, and where you went from basically like 1 Peter to Matthew to all the way to Genesis, and he was connecting like Old Testament to New Testament, where you could really help like walk your way, where a lot of times you hear like, and even Pastor Benny said this, like, oh, the Old Testament, that's like gone, and like there's, you know, that was miracles and things happened back then, but like that's not going to happen now, or that was, you know, 1,000 years ago, or whatever have you. And it's like, no, the word is living, like it's living then and now, and really how he walked you through it. And like it was interesting because they had someone else reading the passage, and Pastor Benny would be like, okay, read it again, and then he'd be like, no, stop right there, and he would explain it, like he would explain a specific word, and then he would say, okay, now reread it, and then he would say like, well, okay, read the whole thing together. And so it was like, I don't remember the specific scriptures, but it was like Matthew, we'll just say 29, and then it was like 38, and then 51, and it was piecing together of what he was teaching on. And so, yeah, I think I'm hungry for that, where I want to know more, because I know how the Bible is intertwined and connected, and there's a reason why there's what's the word, where there's like a genealogy, where it explains like, you know, it goes through of this as the son of this, and it's like, oh my gosh, when you're starting, you just like, that's, you know, it's like, what am I reading? Why am I reading all these names, and why does it even matter? But it does matter. And it's really neat when you can dive into that and learn why that matters. So yeah, it was really good. It was powerful. And yeah, he's a great teacher. So
that was a cool experience. What else do we got? What other updates? I mean, nothing really bad has happened with the RV this week.
That's funny. We did get we got a new doodad, I guess you could say. We ordered. So for those that maybe haven't RV'd or traveled, when you go to different RV parks or anywhere like that has a sewer hookup, there's a cap.
This is our update. We got a sewer cap.
I want to tell the people the thing I got.
We got a sewer cap, guys.
Yeah, so there's this piece that you can get, and it actually connects to the sewer.
And it's see-through, so you can see it all go down.
Yeah. Well, it's because of the smell, so you can't just shove a tube down this
hole.
You have to, secure it. Well, I didn't know that. And I'm looking around, and everybody's got it, and I'm like, okay, well, what the heck is this? And looked into it, and that was the ticket. So
that's his update. That he got a little sewer cap.
Yeah, it's the little things,
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You went to karaoke. We did karaoke.
That's what I was going to tell. Tell the people so when we got here, so all these different parks are kind of unique where they have different things going on. So the last one had some different things going on. They give you a calendar when you show up. Here's all the things.
So they have mango and karaoke.
And they got
little pancake breakfast.
Yeah, donuts and coffee and popcorn night.
Popcorn Friday.
Yeah.
Free popcorn every Friday.
Yeah, and they have shuffleboard and they got 10 a.m. aerobics in the pool.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten to do that. Yeah. It's a little cold now.
And then, just all the walks. And so one of the nights was karaoke. And if anybody knows me, for those watching, know that I like to sing. I'm terrible at singing.
Mm-hmm.
Really bad.
He's so bad.
But I try to, and when I do sing, I'd make up words. I don't know the lyrics to any words either.
Trust me.
Don't know the lyrics to any song either.
Every day. I get to deal with this every day.
Yeah. So when me and Michelle first met, I had this song. And should I sing it? And it goes she's got them eyes and a big old surprise, and she's got everything, na-na-na. And I sang the song. And she's like, what are you trying to sing? And I was like, I don't know. And I sang
He's trying to sing Sweet Child of Mine, but he wasn't even on tune, when he first did it. So and I was like, I have no idea what song you're trying to sing.
And then I pulled it up. I finally found it because I was typing in words on Google, trying to figure out the song. And I played it. And she's like, what? That's what you're trying to sing? So long story short, I don't know the words to any song. I'm terrible at singing. We were actually at a worship night, and the music stopped, and I was still praising God, and I heard my own voice, and I was like, oh my, save me, Lord, because this is not good. And so now it's kind of a running joke where we'll be worshiping and Michelle will hear me, or I'll be behind her and she'll hear me.
He's singing right in my ear, and he doesn't know the words, so he's struggling. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm trying to sing here, and I can't sing because you are in my ear.
She actually loves it.
I really don't.
So anyway, they had the first annual karaoke night.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were trying it out here at the
went
RV
and
park.
sang.
So we were there, and nobody was getting up and singing. And I looked at Michelle, and I'm like, should I go help the people out? And
he did.
Volunteer and sing. And she's like, I mean, that's up to you if you want to. So I went up there and sang Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond and had the whole crowd bum, bum, bum. And they were like, so good, so good. Even my wife was in the back.
So bad.
No, they didn't say that. So, and then she recorded it and sent to our family. And
I did.
Yeah, but they know. So yeah, it's been a week. It's been fun. It's been sunny. It's been, I think busy, which is so wild to say that because I don't feel busy. We really don't really feel busy, but it's the weeks are flying by.
We got a lot going on.
And so we go to coffee shops. We were at one today, and that's been really fun to just see different things around. And there's some really cool. Florida's always got some really good mini golf.
Yeah.
Like, incredible. I maybe even remember that when I was a little kid. I came down with my mom and dad
And there's
family.
our dog again.
Yeah,
if
Diesel.
you can hear him, he's begging
yeah,
for food.
we had to bring him this week.
Oh yeah. Diesel got into something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
His whole eye, like,
he was so swollen, and so like that's happened before when he was like younger. And so someone had said, like, next time that if that ever happens, just give him Benadryl. So I was like, okay, great. So I got some Benadryl and I gave him Benadryl. Nope, he was worse the next morning, even bigger, his face. And it was in his neck too. So there was some worrisome there. And obviously he's 14 years old. So like, you got to be cautious nowadays with anything. And so we had to take him into the vet, and the vet was like, I think he got into something, or maybe like he got stung by something. And so he had to get some antibiotics and had to get a needle to help the swelling go down. And so he's better now, praise God. But yeah, that was something we had to deal with this week. So it felt like a busy week because there was just all these things that like kept popping up that we had to deal with. Even like we have to go back to Nashville this upcoming week to deal with a few things. So yeah, it's just busy because it feels like our attention is divided into many different spots and areas. But
all good things.
Yeah.
We're moving right along.
And that's pretty much the update of the week.
Yeah, it feels good to be in the sun.
Yeah.
Feels good to, like, we turned the AC on, which was amazing. The windows are open, the sun's shining. So that's been, it's good. I think it's good to, like,
Diesel's going crazy.
He is going. I know. We do this every time when he wants to eat. Yeah.
It's dinner time for Diesel. Dinner time for Diesel.
Yeah, so it's been good. You can see the sunshine coming in, and it's nice to open the windows and open the shades and just get some natural light. So good. Well, all right. Until next week. Keep fit and have fun. Isn't that an old commercial? Till next time, keep fit and have fun. Something like that. Yeah, maybe I'll learn something on the ukulele. I did bust that out this week, so maybe here's to hoping that I'll have a tune or something next week. Next week, we're in Nashville for like 3 days. And even then it's better, your birthday. I can learn. You're not learning this week. Guarantee it. We're too busy this week to sit down and learn. It's my birthday. It's his birthday. We're going to go to Disney. Well, that will be next week's update. We can't give that all away. True. All right, guys. Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in. We love you. God bless you. See you soon, hopefully.